Thanks for stopping by my channel. Have you ever thought about moving to Northern California, but you weren't exactly sure what to expect or what it will cost? Well, you know what? If you're scared of the unknown, I'm going to break it down for you really simply into the top 5 pros and the top 5 cons of living in the San Francisco East Bay area. I'm Lisa Peck, founder of Explore East Bay Homes at Compass Real Estate, where we empower buyers, sellers, and investors to make the best decisions for themselves and their families. If you're new here, do me a favor, please hit the subscribe button so you can get notified whenever I put something new out onto the channel. Now, we moved here almost 8 years ago, so I do have perspective for what it is to be new to the San Francisco East Bay. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the top 5 pros and the top 5 cons for living in the East Bay. Pro number 1, and the reason probably why my family picked up and moved to the Bay Area, is proximity to everything. Anything you could want to do is super close. If you want to travel internationally, we actually have 3 airports. We have Oakland Airport, we have San Jose Airport, and we have San Francisco International Airport. You can get just about anywhere from one of those 3. We do have 3 major cities nearby. We have San Jose, which is a 45-minute drive. We have San Francisco, which is about a 45-minute drive as well. And we have Oakland. Oakland is probably about 30 minutes. So you can get just about anything you want really close by. If you want to go see some museums or see some professional sports, they're all under an hour away, no matter where you are in the East Bay. Let's just say you get sick of the sun. Rarely. But if you get sick of the sun and you need some snow, you've got Lake Tahoe right in your backyard. It's probably about 3 or 4 hours, depending if you're going to South Lake Tahoe or North Lake Tahoe. So if you need to see mountains, Yosemite is just under 3 hours east of here. Let's just say you need some ocean. To get to Carmel and Monterey Bay, it's about 2 hours. Very close. If you want to go to Santa Cruz Boardwalk or the beach, that's only 75 minutes away. And Half Moon Bay is about an hour, where you will see the most spectacular coastline probably anywhere. We have Marin and Sausalito, which is an adorable town right up in the North Bay. That's only going to take you about 55 minutes to get there from the East Bay, depending upon how you go and where you are in the East Bay, but it's under an hour easily. Let's just say it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and you need something a little bit more lively. You'd like to go to wine country. Well, we've got Napa and Sonoma. It's under an hour from the East Bay. Can you believe it? Now, if you can't wait that long, you can get to Livermore. Livermore's only 30 minutes away, and they've got around 50 vineyards that you can visit. So no matter whether you want to ski or drink wine, you can do that very close by. Okay, the number 2 pro is open air spaces. Do you know that East Bay Park District is comprised of 125,000 acres? There's 73 parks, 1,250 miles of trails, and 55 miles of shoreline. I'm going to put the link down below, so in case you want to check it out in more detail, it's right there for you. Now, here's a few of my favorites of those parks. One right here in my backyard is the Iron Horse Trail. And the Iron Horse Trail is 25 miles long. So formerly it was the site of a railroad track. And it goes between Concord and San Ramon. And it was transformed in the 1980s to become a trail that is heavily used by the locals for exercise, running, biking, as well as rollerblading. Probably my number 2 favorite park is Lake Chabot. Lake Chabot is absolutely magnificent. You have the ability to paddleboard, you can run, you can bike, and there's ample parking nearby. So definitely check out Lake Chabot. Okay, you ready for number 3? The number 3, and probably the biggest surprise to me when we moved out here, is that with all the big cities nearby, living in the East Bay, each little town and city has its very own personality, and it has really a small town home feel, which is amazing. So there's about 77 small towns and cities where you get that big city feel, but also the small town feel. You can go and see an Oakland A's game. You can see them win at Ring Central Stadium in Oakland. You can also go to see the old oak tree lit up, and they do that right after Thanksgiving every year. We also have the Pleasanton Music Fest nearby. East Bay folks travel from all around just to see the Pleasanton Music Fest. They usually take in a few thousand people. Or you can even watch the pig races at Alameda County Fairgrounds. So you even get that feel of country out here in the East Bay. Okay, number 4, and you're not going to believe this because it's somewhat controversial, but number 4 on my list is affordability. So the East Bay is probably the most affordable housing in all of the Bay Area. You get more land, you get more space, you get more swimming pools, you get more yard out in the East Bay. So let's just compare a little bit. So the average price for a single family home of any size in San Francisco County, which includes the city, is $2.39 million for the last 12 months. Now, in Marin County, that same single family home is going to cost $2.128 million, so a little bit less. When you get to Santa Clara County, which encompasses San Jose and the South Bay, that same single family is going to cost you $1.68. Okay, so we've got 2.3, 2.1, 1.68. These are average single family home numbers. Now, once you get to Alameda County, that number drops down to $1.225 million for a single family. Sounds like a deal, right? Now, here's even better. Once you get to Contra Costa County, the average price of a single family home is $994,000, right under $1 million. So that's pretty amazing. You can tell why I've labeled number 4 as affordability. Somewhat of a surprise, huh? Okay, are you ready for number 5? Without further ado, number 5 is weather. You're gonna need your sunglasses all day, every day. Between March and November, you will get sun every single day. It may not be all day, but most of the time it will be all day. So bring your sunglasses everywhere you go and keep a line item for sunglasses in your budget, because if you lose them, you can't go a day without them. Winters here are a little bit rainy and cool, but we do still get the sun. It does pop out in the winter, which is great. It's not like San Francisco. Being out in the East Bay, we do have a totally different climate. We are warmer. Summers are super warm but dry and not uncomfortable warm. I'm a Midwest girl, come from the Midwest where I'm used to humidity. No humidity, it's dry heat out here. So it also cools off in the nighttime and cools off in the morning. I would say that there's probably a few weeks during the year where we might see high 90s, 100, so it doesn't happen very often. Okay, here we go with the cons. Are you ready? Con number 1. Traffic. Traffic out here is a real stinker because this area was built to be a small town and somehow has become very, very populated. So because of that, our roads can't handle it. Also, couple that with the fact that either there's a mountain or a bridge that you have to deal with to get anywhere outside of your own community, city, or neighborhood. So sometimes there's only one way to get there. If you're taking a bridge to get to the city of San Francisco and something happens on the bridge, it shuts down, guess what? You just have to wait. So traffic is definitely tough. Also, getting around is a little bit different because of the mountains and the bridges. This city wasn't built on a grid system, so if you need to get somewhere, you can't find out where you're at in perspective, say like by the hundreds or by the thousands or by the north or south, east, west coordinate. You just have to know where you're going, or you have to have a phone handy that has GPS on it. So here's where some of the hot spots are for traffic, just so you know you can avoid them. Right where 580 and 680 intersect, that is always hairy, and you have to go all the way left and other people are trying to go all the way right at the same time. It happens there. It also happens where 680 and 24 splints off of 680. You don't want to get caught in that mess either. Around rush hour, that is a very, very hairy situation. So try to avoid those two spots if you can. Well, Public transportation, you might say, okay, well, I'll just avoid all that by doing public transportation. We do have BART, which is very, very helpful. However, it's not very comprehensive, so it doesn't splinter out into all of the East Bay towns and cities. Are you ready for the number 2 con? Number 2 con for living in the East Bay is the smoke. Okay, back to the pro weather part. Here's the tough part. Because it's so dry, we do have a lot of fires. It's actually gone all throughout the Northwest, so it's not just in California, but we've been hearing a lot about California recently in the news. Now because of this, we have some of the most unhealthy air days. So when the smoke gets really rough, even if your house isn't on fire, you could still feel the effects because the smoke lingers in the air, and when it gets stuck in between the mountains, you're stuck breathing it. Okay, so the number 3 con of living in the East Bay is the cost of living. The cost of living expenses are through the roof. I already told you that it was more affordable to buy a home here in the East Bay. However, the cost of services is significantly higher. So even if you want to get like a painter or someone to clean your house or maybe take care of your dog, it's going to be more expensive, only because those people have to live here. So they need that increased rate. Even a gallon of gas is close to $5 right now. Restaurants, if you want a drink, it's anywhere between $12 and $18 for a drink. If you go for a nice glass of wine, it's going to be $20. If you want to get lunch out while you're at work, think again. It's anywhere between $10 to $20 just for a sandwich to go. So it is very expensive. When I did check NerdWallet, it's about 50 to 75% more expensive than the average cities across the country. I'm going to have a link to NerdWallet down below so you can check the comparison for where it is you live to see how it compares to living in the East Bay. Okay, so the number 4 con is that there's just not enough houses. There are more people than there are houses. So because of that, all home buyers should be getting an education about what the houses that are priced for and what they actually sell for. Usually those two are very, very different. So a well-educated buyer will end up searching in a price point that's far below what they're actually looking to pay for a home, so that when they get into a bidding strategy, they can be the successful bidder. Well, this has actually become a self-fulfilling prophecy over time. So now sellers need to underprice their home in order to get the right price and get the competition that they need in order to get the best offer. Okay, so here's the number 5 con. It's crowded. There's people everywhere. Everybody wants a piece of the sunshine. There's about 2.2 million people living in the East Bay. So what that means when you live here, and this was a big surprise to me, you always need an appointment. Now, if you thought you could go out for dinner and just show up, no can do. 90% of the time, you're gonna need a reservation for that dinner. So now that you've heard everything that I love about living in the East Bay and everything that maybe I don't love about living in the East Bay, I mean, hey, nothing's perfect. Are you thinking about moving to the East Bay? If you are, just click down below and feel free to search for homes. There's no commitment. I won't contact you. Reach out. Let me know if you need my help. But feel free to peruse. Take a look at anything that you like. If you need some help, don't hesitate to reach out. We're always here to help you. Thanks so much. And by the way, if you like this information, do me a favor. Please click below. Hit the like button and then hit the subscribe button so that you can get informed when we put new material, new content out on our channel. Thank you so much.